marketing, where you can sell somebody something that they did not know existed 2 minutes ago. You and I are around marketing whether we like it or not. Every bus bench ad, grocery store, or online pop-up contains some sort of marketing to get us to click or buy. So the question is today, not whether marketing is good or bad. The real question is, have we ever seen such a thing as ethical marketing? Hello, and welcome back to my channel. I'm Isabella, and do not ask why I am wearing what I am wearing. I'm going through a day, and I must wear this to feel better. If it makes you feel any better, I will take the sunglasses off because it is nighttime, and, maybe it's more appropriate that way. But I will have to keep this cute little Amish hat on. But as we know, marketing is everywhere. And it is quite sneaky. It is consumed by almost everyone and used by almost every single company. But what's interesting about marketing is that it lives in a weird moral ground. It borrows psychology from therapists, it borrows aesthetics from artists, and of course, money from you. Right now, we're going to look at marketing at its most ethical, its least ethical, and the blurry little lines in the middle. Modern marketing has been built on well-documented psychological principles. Availability bias makes more recent or repeated information seem more important. Social proof tells us that if many people choose this one thing, it must be safe. Scarcity increases perceived value, even when that scarcity is artificial. And of course, none of this is secret knowledge at all. These concepts are taught in introductory psychology and business courses, but the ethical tension begins when these tools are used not to clarify a choice, but to override deliberation. This is where people often bring up subliminal messaging, the idea that ads hide messaging below conscious awareness to control behavior. But in reality, true subliminal advertising, meaning stimuli that is presented in low perceptual thresholds that reliably change behavior, has little empirical support in real-world marketing. What does exist is something much more mundane and everyday, but way more powerful. Repetition, framing, and emotional association. You don't need hidden messages when you can show the same idea 1,000 times. Link it to safety, beauty, status, or belonging, and then let the brain do the rest. Now let's start with the easy villains, the ones that everyone kind of agrees does something wrong. Tobacco marketing is an easy example of this. For decades, cigarette companies used doctors and athletes and literal cartoons to sell a product that they knew was addictive and deadly. The harm was understood, but the messaging continued anyway. Another one being fast fashion. Brands that market clothing as disposable, hyper cheap, and endlessly trends-based, while burying the reality of labor exploitation and environmental damage. But diet culture deserves its own museum in this wing of unethical marketing. Ads that framed hunger as weakness and thinness as virtue, and self-hatred as a prerequisite to self-improvement. And then there's dark pattern design, countdown timers that reset, free trials that aren't really free trials, buttons that hide the cancel option. This is marketing that relies on confusion rather than persuasion. These examples share a common thread. They prioritize profit while knowingly increasing harm. The brand knows more than the consumer and uses that as leverage. One of the most persistent critiques of marketing is that it does not simply respond to needs. Capitalism rewards growth, and growth requires demand. When natural demand plateaus, the incentive shifts to redefining normal experiences to problems. Tired becomes unproductive, aging becomes a failure. If one company frames an inconvenience as a problem with a profitable solution, others must follow suit or risk losing relevance. Now let's talk about the gray area. A skincare product can still moisturize skin while still implying that visible pores are unacceptable. A productivity app can help with organization, but yet imply that resting is laziness. A brand can promote sustainability while also relying on volume-based overconsumption. No single ad can cause damage, but repetitiveness does. Intent, impact, and transparency can rarely align perfectly, which is why ethical marketing cannot be evaluated in isolation. It has to be assessed as part of a system. So, does ethical marketing actually exist, or is it as rare as a unicorn? Ethical marketing tends to have a few consistent trails. It does not manufacture insecurities, and it does not hide trade-offs. It respects the audience's intelligence and does not rely on artificial urgency. A good example is brands that align with repair, longevity, and less overconsumption, even when that conflicts with their short-term profits. Outdoor brands that encourage buying less, software companies that provide clear pricing and easy cancellation. Public health campaigns can also be a form of ethical marketing at scale. Anti-smoking ads, seatbelt campaigns, HIV awareness. These do use emotional persuasion, but the long-term goal is harm reduction. Ethical marketing still persuades in a way, but it just does not deceive. There's a common defense of marketing that frames it as neutral information, that responsibility lies within the product and not the promotion. But this position ignores how human attention works. Presentation changes perception. Visual emphasis guides interpretation. What is omitted can matter just as much as what is stated. Because marketing operates in conditions of limited attention and asymmetric information, neutrality is just not possible. Ethics enter not because influence exists, but because influence is directional. The question is whether that direction respects autonomy or exploits vulnerability. Some say that ethical marketing is impossible under capitalism because the system, of course, rewards growth over restraint. Others say consumers have a free choice and that responsibility ends at disclosure. And yes, consumers have agency, but not infinite time, energy, or information. Brands have powers, but also constraints. The ethics part lives in how that imbalance is handled. Consent in marketing is not just about legal disclosure. It is about whether the audience understands what is being sold to them and why they want it. If a campaign relies on confusion, shame, or manufactured urgency, consent gets blurred. And somehow, whenever unethical marketing is criticized, someone always says, just don't buy it. This shifts the entire burden onto individuals that the system was literally designed to overwhelm. Ethical marketing does not mean removing responsibility completely from the consumer. Of course, you need to have a little bit of responsibility as a consumer, but it is also acknowledging that that responsibility is shared between two parties, the seller and the buyer. So, is there such a thing as ethical marketing? It's iffy. I'd say yes, but all the things that include ethical marketing are things that need to include ethical marketing, like healthcare. So, if we're talking about things that are not controlled federally by our governments, then I would say no. But there are also some good marketing campaigns that are for healthcare and for mental health. It's very slim compared to unethical marketing, which is literally everywhere you look. So I would say yes, but it is a very fragile situation. It requires a lot of restraint, especially in a system that is literally designed for unethical marketing, that is literally designed for growth and excess and as much as it could possibly bloat its giant stomach to be. Unfortunately, ethical marketing is very simple. It says, here is what this does, here is what this does not do, and here is why we think it's worth your attention. Anyways, hi, I'm Isabella, and thank you for listening and joining me today. If you liked today's video, you should hit that like button because it really helps me out. Anyways, I have to put back on my glasses because I'm just going to sit here for a bit. I need to just, you get it. Anyways, oh my god, guys, wait, I have to show you the tattoo I got yesterday. It's actually so freaking good. It's a little strawberry with eyes, if you couldn't see. It has little eyes in replacement of the seeds. Guys, I really like the topic and the discussion of marketing, especially as a girl. There's so much that is marketed towards us, like every single day, just pushed down our throats, especially in the beauty industry and everything like that. You need to look perfect. And like, I was looking at the subway the other day, and it said like, oh, do you have dark circles? Well, try this cream. And it's like, babe, the reason I have dark circles right now is because I'm on the subway. Like, that's the reason why I have dark circles. Okay? It's not because of me. It's because of you. Anyways, I'm gonna go. I don't know. I really want to watch a movie right now. I watched Inception last night for the first time. Wicked movie. Really good. But anyways, guys, I'm getting back into my Doom tube, guys, because there's been so much Stranger Things content. Like, I know you guys are dying for me to not talk about Stranger Things. So I'm jumping back into the Doom tube just for one video to see how it feels. Maybe next video I'll do a dark history, but I might do more Doom tube. Who really knows? Anyways, if you had fun this time, you should subscribe, because I guarantee you'll have fun next time, because I do post every other Monday. Anyways, love ya, great to see ya, and I will see you next time. Bye!